Hello, my name's Tony Stockwell. Lots of you, of course, will know who I am, but there may be a few people that don't, thinking who is that weird guy. I'm here in Frome, in the West Country, in Somerset, in England, just about to do a demonstration of mediumship this evening, but I've got a little bit of time, so I thought I'd share a few thoughts with you. I've recently come back from the US. I've been working in New Jersey at the Journey Within Church, a church that's run by a lady called Janet Havoc. And it was whilst I was there last Sunday, the church made me a minister, which I was really chuffed about. And we had the most amazing ceremony, and I walked over a garland of flowers with Janet into the space. And Janet conducted the service, and I had to read my obligation to the church and to the spirit world, and commit my allegiances to really serving humanity, which might sound like a bit big, but it is what it is. Serving people and hopefully showing people that there is life hereafter, that this is not the end bit, this is just a part of how we live and where we are at things at this state of our awareness, and how we might progress and become bigger than and more than ourselves as we know it. But it was really very lovely, I have to say, and I feel slightly changed might seem a bit odd, but I do feel slightly changed. I feel that just by making my obligations known and making some statements there, it's really made my mind a much clearer space to what is expected of me, and also what the spirit world would want of me for this next part of the journey. It's in a few months that I celebrate 30 years as a working medium, my first demonstration being at age 19. January 1st, I took the platform with a number of other mediums from Joan Barham's development group, and I've been working ever since, and lots of dems. So I don't know how many thousands of dems that would be, but there'd be a lot in that space. So I probably have mentioned the fact it's 30 years in other things I've offered, but I think it's just, I don't know, it's such an enormous amount of time. And the weirdest thing is it's gone so incredibly quickly. I can't believe how quickly it's gone, in fact. But it's been a wonderful journey. I've enjoyed every moment of it. So it takes me to now. And whilst at the Journey Within, I was given a 5-day course on mediumship for a group assembled, I think maybe like 50 mediums in the space. And we had some interesting moments. We were looking at least in one afternoon, shamanic mediumship, which I'm calling it shamanic mediumship, but I don't know if strictly it's the right title for it. But the idea being that we, the medium, would take a recipient, so somebody else, we would ask them to close their eyes, we would close our eyes, and the idea is the medium wouldn't just make a contact with somebody in the spirit world, but take the recipient with us on like a mind journey. So each mind journey should be completely different from any other, and it should indeed be tailor-made to the need and to make comfortable the recipient, and to bring them imagery and ideas. So an example would be to close our eyes, and I may well be invited or inspired to take you to the water's edge, in which we would then both imagine, visualize ourselves entering a canoe, and we would then paddle together, and the water will be of a certain colour with certain trees and certain birds, and the whole thing then would be as a developing meditation, visualization, to the point we got to the meeting space. And there's a number of things we can do when we get to the meeting space. The medium then can go into evidence mode and start to describe who gathers there from the other world, so their mediumship kicks in. But it's also possible for the recipient to also see who gathers before the medium, and then the medium simply tells the recipient of what the spirit person wants to say, as opposed to who are they. And a balance of both, no doubt. And potentially I've lost some of you there, but bear with me. This idea that mediumship is not as easy as people imagine. We imagine the medium does all the work and we sit there going, I think I know it. But there might be a way that we mediums might take regular people, normal people, our recipients, on something of a journey that they can start to experience the feeling that spirit come with. And I think sometimes as a working medium, I recognize I'm often very much aware of wonderful energies and feelings and atmospheres and emotions that don't translate with words. I might say your mother is here, but what I'm actually experiencing is the sense of a lady on my right hand side who leans forward, kisses you on the face, feel my heart's about to burst with pride for my daughter, etc. And it's hard often to truly vocalize those feelings. But this idea of shamanic mediumship might be just a thing for some of you to practice or experience, if that's something that feels applicable to you, and how maybe the excitement and the feeling of feeling invited almost to journey between worlds and experience your own loved ones. Just a thought. We were also talking about really how we could bring in more communication to any contact. So the idea being that I think again as mediums we get quite practiced and honed in our skills to describe who's here, but we don't always know why they've come and what they want to say and what they've gleaned and what they've understood and how they want to share, etc. And really that creates lots of debate. But I wonder, again for those at work, whether when we offer such a simple statement such as she loves you, that we shouldn't develop the sense of she loves you because, how, when, why, how does that manifest, and be as in inquiring into the simplest of almost giveaway sentiment as we might be if we were to look at she talks of cheese, and the medium's mind automatically goes into cheese, what cheese, where was the cheese consumed, where was it made, how is it applicable to her life, because we're very busy bringing evidence. We don't always remember to bring the communion and communication, and to develop cheese in all its facets and how that's applicable in the now, and maybe mum was a cheese maker in her spare time or whatever that might be. And she loves you, and how and when and why, because you were the only child. You came late in her life. You were the biggest blessing. All of that additional detail lies within the sentiment, but we as mediums, we are very busy jumping from one evidential statement to the other. We don't always have time to develop the sense of why Spirit have come and what they truly wish to offer us. Just thoughts. So I could go on, and of course I do go on quite a lot, but these are just thoughts that I wanted to share with you, and also just want to say hi. I know we're fast approaching Christmas, and you'll start to see Christmas trees and whatnots, and it's either a time of great celebration or reminders really of the loss of and the absence of certain peoples. But I think I'll simply close by saying, as you prepare in the way that you might want to, Spirit come close. There's a magic and a wonder that happens around the Christmas time, where I truly believe the two worlds are closer together than at any other time. And that may change depending on which country you're in. So other celebratory holidays, depending whether you're in one country or another, the atmosphere would be changed, moved, but it simply is brought about because of the majority of people's idea to celebrate and to remember and to be excited. And its atmosphere has a change, it creates something special, and the others then are able to walk closer with us than you might imagine. So if you are maybe considering, wondering and worried about being sad because of the loss of others, just know actually this time of year should be celebrated because they are potentially closer to you. So create and consider your future Christmas plans with a sense that you're going to create a wonderful atmosphere and ambience in your own home around that time, so they may well be able to manifest, say hi, you may be able to dream of them, smell their perfume, and know that they are in fact just a thought away. I leave you with those thoughts and say thank you for listening to me. God bless.